Hello everyone, Mrs. Gigi here. It is Wednesday. It is the end of November and yes, almost Christmas time. And I do have one thing that I want to try out today. We are going to use this type paper. It is European A4 size piece of watercolor paper, and I have tried it before in, I don't even know, was it this year's, like a spring, I think it was a spring journal. Hello Paul, welcome. I am doing fine. Hello Danny. I am going to try out, and for those of you that are used to American streamers doing some crafty things, I'm going to use a sharp object. So yeah, that's what we're going for. We are at least trying to do a thing here. I don't know, because we did this one last week, and I'm going, let's see, am I going the European A5 size or smaller? Let's see, we will have to at least cut it in half, because that's where I'm kind of thinking we are going with. Let's see, or even smaller. What is that? Is it a B size? Hello. Let's see. So sharp objects are meant to be used for this stream, and I don't really know the end result, but let's see. Am I going smaller? The thing is, I don't know if it will be visible in this one though. Yeah, I think I'm going with at least a little bit smaller than this. If it doesn't really work, we have to try it in another size, because I'm going to do a little bit of cutting, and I'm going to paint, and yeah, it might even be that the end result isn't really one thing that we are meant to show today. Let's see, definitely need a little hinge. So how are you all? I hope that you had a wonderful start to your week, which I did have. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning of the week though, but then again, you know, weeks tend to be gathering up with all kinds of things throughout the month of December. So what I am tempting to do is a little deer, a little kind of situation here with a little deer, cutting him out, and paint and cut. So let's figure this out. I was about to say together, but I don't know how this even will end up. See, the ear needs to be there somehow, like there, and then another ear here. The thing with this, it needs to hold together, so I need to, you know, think about the outer part of this being being like little borders like this, because I'm going for cutting things out, leaving holes. So that's what we're aiming for anyways. Thinking there will be a little deer head here somewhere, and it needs to be one part over here, and of course the legs. The legs are going this way, and it's definitely going to be a cartoony version, because patience of mine and all kinds of things coming together in this, like that. Some hollies, maybe a little holly thing going here. I'm going to try at least to have it over here. So this is just a little bit of a start to this. The horns are going that direction. And it's going to be a little bit of a thing. It's, let's see, we need to have the eyes like that. Not really going with the nose and eye part. I just need to have it there somewhere. I am going with, let's see, the back part. It doesn't really need to be like that. We need to have the one of the legs, and it's going to be extended kind of like that. It needs to be, because I need to cut that part out. I need to, let's see if we want to have the legs going that direction. So the fun part with this is I am going with, let's try it out. We are going to start the cutting thing here. I need to have it as a frame all the way around. So it's like one of those. If it doesn't really work, we will just have to start over. And then it might be nicer to have a little curve. And remember, this is only a vision in my mind. I have no clue about the end result for this one. That's the beauty of everything that I do, kind of. You'll never know. You'll never know the end results. It might not even look like anything in the end. So you have one part there, and then we will have to figure out how about a deer's leg. Am I going with the hooves and everything? Let's see. Thinking like that, and I think it's extended to, it doesn't really, that looks more like a dog to me, so it's more like that, I think. I need to have it extended. Because of the sizing of this thing, it kind of needs to be in a certain way. We are going to cut that part away. Let's see. And kind of already shows. And then we have two legs. Are they long enough though? Let's think about this. Do we need some holly berries down here? Just one leg down there, the other one there. And I was actually thinking about somewhere along the line with the Swedish version of Merry Christmas, which are not as many letters as the American one, but I'm thinking this part, like that part of it needs to be extended there, and then the back part. making like a holly berry situation over here because just because I feel like it. Which to me means that we are going with, oh, thank you so much, Chris. We are going to cut. This is the tricky thing. When I'm cutting out a thing like this, it can't really be too detailed. But in a way, I kind of like it to be because that's nicer. But we are going to try out these holly berry thingies. And yet again, let's see. The last part of this needs to be somewhere down here. With the legs going like that. So we can lift it up. It needs to be painted in, of course, which will be the kind of a little detailed thing in the end. Let's lift that one up. So Wednesday it is, the weekend coming up, kind of, or at least I feel like it, because Thursday is the day for me in school, which means I have like a half day at work. Let's think about this part again. Needs to be, hello Barry, welcome, welcome. I don't like the thing there with the legs though. I know that I will cut that part off. Yeah. Hopefully we can use this one. I'm not too sure about the size and everything, but I felt I needed to try it out. I was thinking about, you know, going full A5 size piece and including it as a page in this journal, but I'm not. We have that there. So we have the holly berries, we have that thing, and I'm thinking like that. No return. No return whatsoever with this. Let's see. It is what it is now. Definitely is. So, as far as I understand, it's Thanksgiving coming up for all our American friends. I was about to say that I do celebrate Thanksgiving, which is kind of true. I'm not going for that this year though, because of my daughter, her birthday coming up. But I kind of I do like the Thanksgiving idea in a way, and it is kind of sad that like comparing the American, all the American kind of celebratory, like whatever, both commercial like Valentine's and all the other things, but we as Swedes, or as in Sweden where I am, we don't really celebrate anything other than Christmas this time of year. Yeah, we do, or it's a little bit of a newer thing to celebrate Halloween, but it's not as big, or definitely not as big as in you know, other parts of the world. Maybe definitely not as big. So I do need to have some details over here with the horns for the little thing here. Let's think. I am definitely not going any more detailed than necessary, because you know, it won't really be a thing. And it needs to be, let's see, it needs to be connected up here. Like that. I don't know about the amazingness of me, Gator, but yeah. It's, I'm just me. Me, myself, and I. Is that what it is? Oh. Now, doing this, and yeah, I don't know, the sharpness of this exacto knife, I'm not too sure. Is this a good idea or not? Let's see, the hollies needs to be something like this though. Definitely needed to connect with those up here. Are you really? I don't know. If you're not sharing me out or subscribing or anything, is that what you mean? This whole YouTube thing of mine started years back, really. I've done this for years, but for different reasons, I would say. Definitely different reasons. And now I do it for fun. I wish I would have had like more time doing it, of course, but not, unfortunately not. Let's look into the ear so I don't really cut too much of it off. Like that. Still needs to be connected to the, yeah, I need to think about that a little bit. There has definitely been so many things with me and YouTube, like different reasons for me being on YouTube, creating videos and do whatever I do on here. Let's see, cutting a little tiny slither off like that. Still, it needs to be connected over there, so yeah, it is almost, at least. That's the most important thing. Looking there, and we are going down here. Let's, no measurements here. That's what it is. But you know, I'll try my best in doing this. So a little bit of a thing like that, going down here, creating those leaves for the holly. Still need to think that it needs to be connected there, so, and then the body of the actual little tiny deer here. Let's think, do we need to have it curved? Of course we do, somewhat like that. So this is definitely, you know, my version of something. I have no clue if this will be good at all or not, but we can definitely do a little bit more of an easy one if this doesn't really work out the way that I want it to. Let's just do like that. It's just easier. Your phone is acting up. I don't like that. I'm actually looking into getting myself a new phone. I don't know which one though. I have no clue which one. There are definitely some options, of course, out there, and with, you know, with Black Week and Black, I don't even know, Cyber Monday next, there are so many things, but I definitely need a new phone. Look into doing it like that, folding that one up, leaving, hopefully, part of it out. Let's see, yeah, that's still connected. We need to figure out, are we going, yeah, we are going, oh, who am I just lost the blade. I need to figure this one out though, like that. We need to do it like this, I think, at least for now. And then is it curved or not? What was I thinking here? A little straighter than I've done. The ear is going, let's see, that direction. So it is kind of looking, is it still, yes, it's still connected. It's a little tiny bit of a connection there. That's nice. That's what it needs to be. And then we will have to figure out these. And am I going just like that? Letting the horn extend up to the framework here that we are trying to preserve, because I want to have this flipped like a page and with no, or I wouldn't say no loose ends, but you know, as far as not too many loose ends on the actual creation. So going a little bit of a slither there. More up. I don't like the thickness of that. We will have to kind of figure out that in a minute. So going like that. And I will definitely, yeah, it's not really connected, is it? Do they have like rounded horns? Yeah, I think they do, don't they? That is one thing that we have to kind of look past, because I'm not able to do that here. Just going up with the frame here, saving at least some of it, and yep, like that. And then the last part here, and I'm not going all the way up, I'm just going to have a little flip like that. And then do the next one, as they say. Hot soup on a chilly afternoon. Oh, that was kind of, that's nice. What kind of soup? What kind of soup? Do I have the recipe or something? No, I don't really tend to do too much of Yeah, I like to do like homemade things from scratch. That is really important to me. But when it comes to certain things, I tend to like order or let other people in my family do food. Yeah, barbecue is easy. That's the way to go. But let's peel this one out. Or is this the way to go? Yes, I hope I've done it right so far. I think so. So, for my American friends out there, do you have all the cranberry sauce ready? The turkey, the yeah, all the yumminess of Thanksgiving dinner. I know that there is a lot of preparation for some of you. Ramen, oh, it's one of those like put in the microwave kind of dishes, is it? Let's go all the way up. Are we attempting to go up in the corner there? Let me think a little bit. Yes, we are going to fold a little flip out so we don't really cut through that. We are going to kind of meet up there in the corner. And let's see, we have the horn there, we have the head going like that. This is one of the things that tend to take a little bit of time doing these, but it's important that things go well here, because if they don't, everything is kind of meaningless, is it? No, it's not meaningless, but it tends to just ruin the whole thing. Let's pull it up. So, weather-wise, how is it with you? Here it's cold. It's really cold. It is not as wintry as I was hoping for this time of year, though. Definitely not. Yeah, I do hope that this time of year, each year, my my hope for December is always to have like a really really cold white wintry December with snow, a lot of snow. And my explanation to that is, why in the world are you going to experience winter if it's not snowing? Um, so yeah, I don't know. You don't own a microwave, and I cook the old-fashioned way with the stove. Ham and cornbread. Yeah, cornbread is a thing apparently. Yeah. But it's kind of nice though, isn't it? I think I've only I have had cornbread like homemade. I'm not, yeah, I think only like once or twice in my whole life. Like the really homemade type one. And so, other than that, I don't know. I'm more focused into everything related to birthday parties this weekend. So let's see, do we want to have the eye? I need to kind of think about, are we going to have the eyelashes? Are we going for that detailed of a thing? No, we are not. I can clearly see we are not. But we do have to think about the little bit of a situation here with the nose, and somewhat like that. It's definitely not going in that direction. I can see it clearly, but you know, I have to. And let's think, we need to have the ear down here. We have to have a little tiny notch there in the nose. More like that. So what on earth are we going with there? Let's see. Thinking that we could extend the ear just a tiny little bit and then have it like that, and the curve of the ear, and the holly berries, which of course are round, so we have to think about those for a little bit, like that. And with this last little part, the fun thing begins, or the thing that actually makes the whole creation, the painting. The paint work is always where you tend to see the actual creation more than anything. Am I going to leave out some white just because I needed to? Thinking down there maybe. Going all the way down there. Leaving some of it out because you'll never know. And then, of course, the area here, let's tackle that one. We need to cut that one off like that. And we are going to leave this part, it's a holly berry with the leaves there, but we are going further up with this. Or not really too much, but just the tiniest little thing there. So at least we have something going on. The details of this. So let's see, the horns there with that one, the eyes. Let's think about it. Are we going with, usually they have like how are they, like, are we going like baby reindeer type situation here or not? They tend to have like, I'm thinking Bambi. Homemade buttermilk cornbread. That sounds yummy, Berry. Doesn't really do. Does like that. Let's see. We are going with the eye like that. A little bit of a baby shape though. And the need to figure out, because I need to cut some of this out, but I don't want to have it too much cut out because I need to, you know, we can't really put it back in place. So I need to figure that one out. It needs to be like this, somewhat. And a little nose, maybe, like that. And I'm just thinking the head will be something like this. And let's see, that means we are going to leave that one out. We are going to be going further down like that. A little bit more of a twist with the eye. If I cut that part out, we'll kind of end up with a little really strange looking. Doesn't, is it more like this though? I need to kind of look into pictures. This is only in my mind, so I'm thinking maybe replace the nose. Let's see. Is it further down here? I only do this because I need to kind of save up on this part. I think if I just cut that little tiny thing off, that would be okay. Just a little bit more curved. And then let's see, I'm going to leave it like that. Yet again with a curve. And maybe, let's see, just do a little tiny bit of adjustments like that. And then do I have to cut any of the neck area out here? Once I've done all of these adjustments, you know, I can't really do anything about them, so that's why I'm kind of looking into them more detailed. So I'm thinking this needs to be smaller. I'm just going for it. That's what it is. Going to cut it off. So I've done more cartoony versions of these ones before, but this year with the Christmas journal I felt I needed to have like not really too much Christmas, rather than more winter themed one. So that's why I'm going with the more like deer, or not really too much red, even though I like red much. But this year I don't really know if I will have too much Santa in my life at all, really, because the kids are getting old, and we're, yeah, of course we are celebrating Christmas, but you know, haven't had Santa here for quite some time. That is more of a thing that I'm thinking the art chair is not necessarily the right way to go. Or is it down here at the bottom of the thing though? Is that more straight than I was thinking in the beginning? Yeah, I think so. Like a little bit more anyways. So we will cut it off. Like that. There are no returns now. And then with the leg situation, where are we going? Are we just going with connecting the legs over here maybe? Let's see. And with that, cutting this part out. Are we? Are we really? I think so. It is going to be a little bit of an imaginatory type situation with this one though. So not necessarily the real deal here with the, that to me felt a little bit better. We definitely need to shorten that thing. And am I going with a little tiny bit of sliver down here, or am I just going to connect? Let's see, that looks way more like a dog than I intended it to be. It needs to be connected, that's the thing. So I you know, it's going to be like an off the off the page type situation. So take a little bit more of a thing going there. So we are kind of in the right direction, I think. With this, yes, we are. I am going with watercolor. That's why I started out with the watercolor paper. It makes it way better in the end. Easier, at least it is. And with Bambi, we are going, of course, with reddish brown and the holly berries. Are we going with those? Because those are easy to just imagine. Let's see. Going with the red. The red is the Christmas red, or not. Let's see. The berries are definitely, I would say, more American tradition than anything else. And I'm not too sure if I feel like I say that correctly, but here in Sweden we don't really have the holy berries like in the US. But we are going to have them just because, like that. And then we have the green. Of course, with different type greens will be. Let's see what just showed. Sorry for that. There we are. The green. So the more detailed this is, the better it will look. But we are going with not too many details, unfortunately. Not too many, but just because I wanted to try this out. Usually I tend to paint both of the sides, which creates like a back side of the same thing when you turn the page around. I don't know if I will today. Maybe I will do that next week. Because I do like doing these things, but they tend to take a little bit more time and effort than I have at the moment. So we have one of them there, the leaves. We are going with some detailed markers and things, so We'll just do the base for now. And then of course all different kinds of greens too. We could go with more traditional darker green. Like that. And down here. And the other one, of course. And yet again, I don't, unfortunately, I don't really know the actual names for this, because this is one of the cheaper versions of watercolor that I tend to have like a go-to type watercolor palette. Even though I have the more expensive ones, I don't really like to use them. And yes, I'm going to do a little declutter situation for 2026, so you can be sure of that. I'm definitely going with that. I've actually thought of, I'm not too sure about it, but I've actually thought about just throwing things like away and not really buying new things, but throwing them throwing things away because I have too many things. Is that, you know, in Sweden we do have a saying that you tend to buy things that you need, and you tend to buy things that you want but you think you need them. And yeah, that is one that goes with too many hobbies, I would say. Too many. Or, you know, our everyday life too, to be totally honest with you. Our everyday life tends to be a whole, I want that. And then I've been parts of my life that I've just bought things because I like them. So the red, the berries there, we're going with the more pinkish red or Santa red. Yeah, we are going with a little bit more of a red than anything. We have the berries there. We have the, let's think now. We do need to have the brown for the little deer. And I'm just going all the way on this one. Of course, with more details placed up on it. Not really going for full on Bambi, but you want very little in your life. You are. That that's like, that feels like the outside of my craft room. My craft room is like my brain, I tend to say. But I think you've heard that before, Barry. My craft room is a whole whirlwind of things. And outside of this room, there is minimalism. Like, there are nothing really, not more than necessary things, no more than, yeah, the things that you really need. And then you tend to come in here with all kinds of things. So that's why I feel like I need to declutter. But going with the more minimalistic view, that's where I've always kind of been in a way. You don't really need too much doing these things either. I tend to say you only need some sort of marker, pencil, or whatever, and a piece of paper, and you can create art. So yeah, you can create art. What art is to you might not be what it is to other people. So I tend to say, like, even with the kids at work, you know, there are, like, I would say, if you take a piece of paper and just draw one line, you'll never know. That might be the $1 million painting. You never know. I've seen, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to show you, uh, but the first paint, no, it wasn't really a painting. It was my, at the time, 2-year-old son. He had uh, like a regular copy paper, a printed paper, piece of paper, and black paint. And then he started painting, you know, like a 2-year-old. And then suddenly he said to me, like, "Bird, mom." And I looked at this, and it was actually a proper bird. I have no clue how he made it. Like, I have no clue. Uh, I have it saved, of course, but I am amazed. You know, I'm amazed. Like, yeah, it was a bird, and he was 2 years old, and he actually created. It was like a shadow of a bird, and yeah, I have no clue how he managed to create that one, but it was beautiful. And then throughout the years, he has always been the creative, you know, kid or whatever. You know, most of my kids are creative, but in different ways. But there has always been things going on creatively for so many different things, though. Let's think about this. We need to have the patterns for the ears. It's going like that, I think, and up there. And just a little tiny bit of a thing. You could always just go with cutting things off if you like, though. Here we are going to fill this in. This is the brownish yellow going in there. Hello, hello, and welcome. There are so many things. Let's see. So I don't really do this. Yeah, I'm just going like that. We will do the more detailed things later on. I don't want to do the eyes though, because they need to be black and white. Or maybe dark, dark, dark brown. Really dark brown. The horns, let's think. They are, as far as I'm concerned, they are really really dark, and we're going with the proper one here. Filling it up all the way. I am, yep, I do need to cut things off, like this one. Yeah, somewhat like that. And over here. Just to be, let's see, over there. Sharp objects. Yeah, like that. Maybe even further down. Oh, who was I? Did I cut that one off? Of course I did. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me, people? We will have to figure that one out later on. Maybe some glue or something. A strange cat? No, it's not a cat. It is definitely not a cat. It could have been. It could have been, but I'm going more Christmassy now. I don't know about the cat. What the preference of having a cat, a lion, a leopard, or no, not a leopard, like cheetah or whatever they are. All of those, all of them. I don't know. I am doing great. Preparations for the weekend. A Christmas cat. Yeah, you could say it's a Christmas cat. If I don't know, is that a thing? Should have done maybe a cute little Christmas cat. Cats could be cute. I'm not too sure that. Yeah, I'm not really into the cute cats. Am I? I don't know. I haven't really thought about those though. And let's see. I'm actually thinking about cutting parts. I'm going for it. Don't say that it was a wrong decision made in the end, but it needs to be connected up here, so that's why it's going to look a little bit crazy. But it needs to be. Santa and his 9 small kittens bringing presents down the chimney. I don't know about that. That could have been a thing. It could have. You know, doing detailed things like that. And the 9 little kittens, like 9 small kittens bringing presents. Why 9? 9 lives for the kittens or the cats, or what in the world are you thinking about? Let's see, definitely going to cut this one into, I don't even know how, but we are going to do a totally different direction on this one. I can feel it already. We are going further down there. Hello Dana, welcome, welcome. We are definitely going, yep, let's see, way more detailed down here. And of course I'm doing this while it's wet. don't have the patience to wait, that's why. We are going more detailed. We need to be more detailed because I did a little thing down here at the end. So over here too, as you can see, it's getting more and more detailed. That's the thing with this. I tend to keep them kind of basic, but with this type of thing, yeah, it needs to be detailed. And I'm still gonna save that part, even though I know that I will kind of cut that one off at one point or another to do a little thing there, but we will have to figure that part out. Is it now? Now or never, is it? We are going like that further down because I'm thinking now we need to kind of figure out the, let's see, cutting that one off. We're going to leave part of this. I was actually thinking about creating like a some sort of, instead of white paper, like a hole. I'm actually going to cut most of that out. Is that too much? It might be further up like that, maybe. Let's see. Thinking it will be a little bit like that. Maybe a little bit more detailed for the eyes, and then cut the let's see, how are they? Are they going to cartoony, or the real eyes for the deer is just rectangular type situation? That might be scary for this cute little one though. Actually going a little bit. Are we going smaller? Are we going to cut that off? I think we are. Not really doing that detailed. It's just going to be small changes because small things can create large large differences in the creativity thing here. Let's see, just the tiniest. We are definitely going to use another angle for the eye. I'm going further down like that. I'm actually thinking deer eyes. How are they? Are they like that? Somewhat like that. And then the neck part, this area, are we going to extend that somehow? We are going to do a little bit more of a curve. Just going like that first. Details, people, details. Do I need to do these things? Of course not. That's just how I feel. We are going way thinner. We are definitely going way thinner with this one. Or straighter, that is. Like that. And then I'm thinking the details for the yeah, let's see. Actually going to create this details of a thing here. Are we going that thin or not? Or leaving it? No. We are going to do some more details here. I can feel it already being really strange, but that's how I feel. Like going like that. Not really too curved here. Let's see. It won't be anything in the end. You will send a picture of a Christmas kid. Oh, you will? Is it one of those that you like an inspirational type picture? I don't know if I will be able to use it here though. It needs to be thinner. This was meant to be a cute one though, but it's not. Let's see. We need to do some sort of change. Let's see. Like that. Like that. Now I'm going all the way. Not into anything. Let's see, like that, going like that. This is going to be so strange. Consider it being AI. AI. That could be anything nowadays. Definitely, like literally anything. It could. And I don't know. Is that one that I dare to show? We are going. Do I feel like I want to have? No, I don't like the curviness of the body. How am I? That like there. That looks more like a grown-up deer. It wasn't meant to be that, but yeah, we're going to thin it out. It's not going to be the cute little baby deer. But it felt nicer to have that sort of shape. And yes, we are going to do a little bit of a change here too. Like, and I don't know if this is a Swedish story or not. It's like I think it was like a little boy going to the seamstress with a big piece of fabric, and he wanted to have he wanted to have like a dress for mom or something. And he went to the seamstress and explained the whole situation, and she said like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have it ready by the end of the week. And then the end of the week came. He was meant to have the dress picked up, but he couldn't have it picked up, so he called and like, oh, I'm not able to pick up the dress. Oh, don't worry about that. And then the thing was, and I do want to have like a thing for dad, a thing for his sister, a thing for his other brother, and a thing for himself. The beauty of it though with the seamstress doing all of those things was that, and in the end, the only thing that he got was a whole bunch of fabric, like nothing, because it was meant to be something, but the seamstress didn't really know how to sew. So, yeah, you know, and that is kind of what I feel like here. I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. It's just I have a vision in my mind and I want to have it done. So that's where I'm kind of going. So that's why I'm kind of doing these small little details changes. We are definitely going to keep the curve there. The beauty of having it like this is that I can see it in camera, and we are going to thin the neck down. Is it looking like a deer now? No, of course not. It's not. Is it meant to? Yes, of course it is. And now, are we going in with white pin? For those of you wondering, sorry for the reach there, but you know, I do have a lot of pins. I do have, or let's think now, do we want to have white pen or white paint? White paint is more visible on camera, but it's not really too much fun to use, is it? Let's see. The white, the proper white, this Posca is nice, but not the proper white. I don't know about that thing though, because if anyone, and I'm yes, I'm saying anyone knows a proper white, really, really nice pen, yeah, I would like to have it recommended to me. Sometimes it's better to do it than, yeah, that's I knew that you would totally understand that. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. So we are just going to try it out. On camera it's not really too visible, but I don't mind, do I? We are just going to have this filled in because we are going to have it grayed out in a bit. The eyes, they do tend to have white around their eyes, don't they? And with that, I don't know. Are we going? Let's think about the eyes. They're kind of round, but then they have these cute little like eyelash situation. That's why I felt it needed to be like an eyelash situation for the roundness and the round again. That's why I felt it needed to be a baby reindeer. The yeah, I know the yeah. I I do have those. But I'm out of them at the moment. They are definitely on my list to buy. Let's see. Think about that for a little bit. Of course, that's going to be somewhat of a thing there. I've used so many white pens, and I think I've actually tried out, like, I don't even lie if I say 50, all different kinds. but I don't know. I don't like any of them so far. I know that there are one on my wish list. I don't really know the name at the moment, but it's definitely one of the on the list that I do like a lot. So I'm going to actually twist. Twist it a little bit. Why do I tend to have one of the eyes nicer than the other? Isn't it always like that? And a little eyelash situation. So I'm thinking I'm going with a smaller Posca, a thinner one. Actually just going for it. Leaving out part of the white, and then I will go in with an eraser or something. Oh yes, I will definitely add it over here. It's going to be Bambi. It is. We are going for Bambi. That's where it is. I wasn't intending to at the beginning of this though, but you know, Bambi. Everybody knows Bambi, so we need to have that one. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really going to do anything of this. I was thinking something totally different for today. And what on earth? When I'm using this, yeah, no. Please have just a tiny bit of. I've used this pen forever, this marker, and yeah, tends to be when you need them the most, they don't really work, do they? It is always like that. Now with the nose, what? How on earth are they big? Are they, or do they have like the small? I'm thinking, you know, reindeer. I'm thinking Rudolph with the and I don't really know. Is it more like this? It might be. And this is, you know, let's see, we're going with this one instead. It's my old trusty one, but I need to have some. I just said I needed to throw things out, didn't I? And of course I have extras with everything. I have extras with all kinds of things. Like I know, just have it on sale or whatever. Like there is always things. So just going to do some small little details, nothing serious. The thing with this, I have no clue where to place the actual little thing here, so we have to look into that too. I have no clue about that. I just felt I needed to try this out. And with me not really doing this like this, you know, before, I don't know if this will ever be a thing for me, but that, the legs, and you'll have to think about the legs going further down here, but because of the page size we couldn't do that more detailed than we have done. Thinking somewhat like that, and I need to look into where to place it. And let's see, or if I even want to have it placed in here. That's one thing though. See, I was thinking some sort of flip somewhere, but do we have, yeah, that's the white piece of, I was thinking on that one, but not white piece of, we're going to throw that one off. That's white, and that is white. Do we want to have it? Somewhat like that. No, that is way. Might just be that I'll have to like place it on something like this, and maybe have some sort of background so you can flip it out and write on the back of it. Or maybe up here. So my attempt on this little thing was that I wanted to do 4 of them. Let's see, I'm going to leave that one out. Do I want to have the thing peek out? No, I don't really like the combination of the pink. That's why I wanted to have the green there. I don't necessarily know the Bambi situation with this thing. I just felt I needed to have Bambi as an inspiration because everybody knows who that is. That will, yeah, to me, that is a little bit more of a natural situation. Yeah, it might be that I put it here. So let's see, are we going full on like black with this? And of course I can go with white paint afterwards. So if it is totally wrong, we can always kind of erase the fact that we have done this and start all over, or throw the whole thing away and start all over again. That's the beauty of creating art like this. Or art. This isn't really art. This is just me having fun. A couple of minutes with doing things like this. Could have done it way more detailed, but I don't really have time, do I? Now thinking, should I do something with the frame, or is it too much already? Let's see the details of the white. Do I like that? This isn't really visible to all of you, is it? But I can see the Bambi situation with the dots. Yeah, that might be a thing. Let's go. We are going. Do I even have a white paint? Yeah. And who am I asking? Of course I have, but do I know where? Don't want to use. Don't know. No. Metallic is definitely not an option, and the big container of white paint is not here because, yeah, The kids are taking it like they always tend to do. But I will have to go with the small one then. Let's see. Let's go with a bigger piece of white. Small little. I'm not necessarily doing like totally round dots, but. So this is somewhat of a thing that I had in mind. Yes, it's inspired by Bambi, but you know, that's just because everybody knows Bambi. And I'm not really going for proper like rounded necessarily. We are going like that, and then we are going with the marker. I would say this is not really the end result, is it? But it's a kind of a beginning. And unfortunately for now, I feel like I don't really have too much more time for this, do I? So going to cut that off. Using the white Posca again on here. Do a little bit of a thing. Oh, you can kind of see what I'm aiming at in terms of trying anyways. Let's go with some details for the hollies. Like that. All the way down here, trying to do that. So if you have a little bit of time left in your everyday piece of schedule, you know, that you can always do some sort of creative touch to your life. Like that. And going in there, trying to do some sort of something. The holly berries up here, detailed. I don't know about that, but here they are. So we are going to let this one dry properly, but we will have to put it here on this page. And I'm thinking in this case I'm going to put am I going for blue? Am I going baby blue background so that you can flip it over and write on the back? So this is it. This was my attempt on a little flip thing, which I've done before a little, you know, not this detailed and definitely not this like this at all. I don't know if I even have the ones. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have them? No, I don't really have them here. I do tend, and I'm not really sure. I'm because of the situation for this one. The usual thing that I do is that I flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side, which means, you know, you have a back side and a front side, but you can see it like that. But for this one, we're just going to leave the little deer like that, putting him in on this page. So thank you so much for each and every one of you that have been here with me in a live stream. It's been really, really fun. As usual, this time of year, it is December, you know, upcoming. I have no clue how my schedule will be. be sure to have the notification bell set on, and then I will be here. I will probably be here once a week at least. And you open the door to a store, and this little boy made two right now. And what? What? Oh my word! How did that even? That was. I hope that it ended well, Dana. Oh my word! That could have been really, really sad ending to the whole thing. Really. Yep. She was in the store. Hmm. So again, yeah, I'm glad that it ended well, which yeah, the card, the thing that I made is how you, um, yep, um, this was my attempt on doing something fun, something that I had in mind, and this is going to be it for today. I will be back again next week with Thanksgiving weekend coming up and my daughter's birthday. I will not be live this weekend. So be sure to look into this channel, the notifications and things for the midweek next week. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. Oh, thank you so much, Dana. And thank you all. Thank you to all the replayers. It's always a pleasure to have you comment on the videos and the live streams. It's always really nice. Bye, everyone.